a journey right across the world. We're in search of the people and the businesses finding solutions to the major challenges we're all facing over the coming decades. So welcome to Horizons. Billions of people on the planet and a huge waste problem. We call it sanitation, and it is arguably one of the biggest public health issues facing the world today. Across the globe, 2.5 billion people, including 1 billion children, do not have access to a clean, safe toilet. Every 20 seconds, a child dies as a result of poor sanitation. That's 1.5 million preventable deaths each year. When it comes to human waste, up to now we have literally flushed it away to be dealt with out of sight and out of mind. But we forget that human waste is also filled with valuable nutrients, and it might just be time for the humble lavatory to take center stage. Sanitation has become one of the most pressing issues today, attracting the attention of global thinkers like Bill and Melinda Gates, whose philanthropic foundation has committed hundreds of millions of dollars in funding new initiatives. I've travelled to New York to meet Dr. Dulai Kone, the man in charge of the foundation's sanitation program, to discuss how new technologies are changing the way we deal with human waste. In Asia, many countries don't have wastewater treatment centres, and it's said that in India, some children drop out of school because they don't have access to clean, modern toilet facilities. In Delhi, Rajini Vaidyanathan has been finding out how one simple solution is already bringing better sanitation to an estimated 10 million people a day.
Less than half of India's population has access to an indoor toilet. In fact, more people in the country own a mobile phone. With very few public lavatories, many people are forced to go in the open. That has huge health consequences, particularly for women and children. Over the years, there's been very little interest or investment in the sector. But one man is using innovation to try and change that. Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak is an internationally recognized sanitation pioneer and founder of Sulabh International, the largest non-profit organization in India. So what's access to toilets like today?
Even today, 70% people in the rural areas have no access to safe and hygienic toilets. They go for defecation open. And urban areas, still 23% people, they don't have these facilities.
What's the problems that people then are at risk at if they're going, to the toilet in the open?
It causes 50 diseases. Most important is the cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, sometimes epidemics also, hookworm, roundworm.
And that's because fecal matter is just left in the open, in the sun. Yes. To overcome the problem of providing sanitation in areas without access to a sewage system, Dr. Pathak's invented a simple toilet using 2 pits dug into the ground, connected to a traditional squat lavatory, which reduces water use and needs no chemicals to treat it. Right, so you do that to clean. So it comes down this pipe here. Costing as little as $15 to build, the twin pit system uses just 1.5 litres of water per flush, compared with a conventional flush toilet, which uses around 12. Now, what happens next?
Now here is the sea, is a bottom.
Explain this pit to us then.
And then this soil, there is no concrete.
So there's a soil bottom?
Yes.
So what about the holes that are around the wall? What are they for?
The holes and the bottom both have function that they absorb water and the gases.
The pits are used alternately. When one is full, the excreta is diverted into the second pit. Okay, so basically the human feces mixed with the water becomes part of the soil over time?
Yes, it decomposes.
It decomposes,
because there are bacteria in the soil.
Over the time, the sludge is digested using already present anaerobic bacteria and creates almost dry, pathogen-free, safe manure, which can be used as fertilizer. How many have you got of these across India? How does it all work now?
We have installed about 1.3 million toilets like this.
1.3 million?
Yes.
That's incredible. So most places that we would go to in India, we could see these in most cities, if not all. Okay, so we can go and have a look at that now. Okay. Go and see. As well as installations funded by the government, Sulabh's built more than 7,500 public toilet complexes, which it's funded by charging users a small fee. So, Gaurav, this is one of the two-pit toilets in action.
Yeah.
It's at a temple.
By chance, this today has the time to get clean, so you will be able to see that there is no smell, there is no pathogen, no bacteria coming out.
I'm a bit nervous about seeing what's underneath there. But we've got some gentlemen who are going to come and help us have a look. All right, this is the moment of truth, Gaurav.
No, you stand close and smell it up. Don't worry, you only have cockroaches in here. Big ones. So you can see there is no smell inside, yeah? See?
Can I
Yeah.
test this?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there is no smell, to be fair.
No, the bacteria has died out. The pathogens have died out, so there is no problem in touching them. Now, the only thing what you do is that you keep it up, keep it outside into the sun or maybe open air for one day. Then those people who are taking care of the plants, who are growing plants, they will come and they will.
And it's probably the finest manure you can get.
No, the best manure, organic manure in the world.
Wow. Okay, that is incredible science, isn't it? And it is really simple. You've got human waste coming down the toilet, sits here for a couple of years, and it becomes this. Recent developments also allow the methane gases to be harvested during the digesting process and used as a fuel for lighting and cooking. It may be difficult for many people to comprehend, but billions of people around the world still don't have access to any form of sophisticated sanitation. But it's cheap and simple solutions which deal with human waste at source, such as this two-pit toilet, which can really make a difference, particularly in countries like here in India, where there's little or no clean water and limited access to sewerage systems. But the biggest challenge is the sheer scale of it. You need a lot more of these to really make a difference.
Binduswar Pathak, defender of the Untouchables, New Delhi, India. Here they are called Untouchables because of their work. For 5,000 years they have cleaned these night soil toilets from another age with their bare hands.
Sulabh was founded to take them away from this occupation and to bring them in the mainstream of the society.
This Brahmin first addressed the sanitation problem. His NGO attempts to convince the people to replace their old toilets with the Sulabh toilets that he created.
Here, the human scavengers are not required to clean. Anybody can clean it.
For years, neither the Untouchables nor any other caste believed in him or in his invention.
When I used to talk to anybody, they used to say it is a dream, it is utopian thinking which you have in mind. It is not going to happen in this country.
But today, the perseverance of this Gandhi disciple has led to the installation of no less than 54 million Sulabh toilets.
Sanitation is my religion. I love it more than my wife and children.
The result? More than 1 million Untouchables have left this degrading work behind. And though it wasn't his intention, this doctor of sociology has become a major player in the world of low-cost, eco-friendly sanitation.
This may be a gold mine, because here we have recycled human skata fully, and many things come out. So energy, the fertilizer, water saving, and if a person takes up this as a career, he can earn a lot of money.
So, ready to use the technology that he has made freely available to the world?
In India's holy city of Varanasi, a nightly prayer ritual mesmerizes visitors. It takes place on the banks of the Ganga, also known as Ganges, Hinduism's most sacred river running through the country like a jugular vein. By day, millions of faithful have come to bathe in Ganga water over the centuries, but this plunge in the water has a special significance for one group of women. Their journey starts in New Delhi, at the headquarters of the Sulabh International Social Service Organization. This is a refuge for women who were born on the wrong side of Hinduism's ancient caste system of social classifications. For thousands of years, they and their untouchable ancestors have had no other life option but the lowest of the low-caste profession, night soil scavenging. That's a polite euphemism for the manual removal of human excrement from primitive dry toilets.
I was 7 when I started following my mother around so I could watch her clean night soil and learn how to do it myself. She carried the waste on her head. I would eventually have to do the same thing myself. My hands were too small at the time for the usual cleaning brush, so I had my mother make me a miniature one.
Night soil scavenging is slowly becoming obsolete in some areas thanks to a sanitation revolution launched by Bindeshwar Pathak. He developed an eco-friendly underground toilet system that he calls Sulabh, meaning simple. It converts waste into dry fertilizer and biofuels inexpensively and with no daily maintenance. Pathak's passion for decades has been to eradicate Hindu discrimination against so-called untouchables like these women. He recalls a defining moment in his life when he saw an entire community ignore an untouchable boy who had been attacked by a bull.
There I took vow to fulfill the dreams of Mahatma Gandhi.
Pathak now offers these women an escape from untouchability and their first experience of a classroom.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, ma'am.
My name is Dolly Parwana. I live in Tonk, Rajasthan. I joined to Sulabh in 2008. I love reading in English. I read every day in English paper, etc. After feeding the mango, what do you do? Cut the mangoes. These children, they are coming from the area where they have zero education. They are very smart, very intelligent. Age is no bar. Here I meet ladies who are almost 60s, 67, and they come very sweetly and they say, I don't know how to write my name. Can you please teach them? The shine which comes in their eyes that they have learned how to write their name, it really gives me encouragement to learn from them.
The Sulabh founder hopes all of India will learn something from these women about redemption from the past. He takes them on high-profile, made-for-media excursions around India and the world. On this latest trip, they pray at holy Hindu shrines. They receive songs of blessing as they sit side by side for a meal with members of Hinduism's highest class, the Brahmins. Besides enacting a constitutional ban on untouchability, India's national and state governments have made some efforts to integrate lower castes in the form of job and education quotas. But reality is slow to catch up, especially at the dinner table.
More than 200 million people, or 300 million people, they are not allowed to have food with others, even today. If you go to a village, they cannot have a common dining.
And the Sulabh women wash in the sacred Ganga, a powerful public affirmation of their dignity as Hindus. Sulabh is slowly changing Hindu attitudes as some of the conditions that fostered untouchability are replaced by better hygiene and sanitation. But volunteers say plenty of work lies ahead because attitudes 5,000 years old are not easy to wash away. Kurt Asian, VOA News, Varanasi, India.
नई दिशा केंद्र की इन महिलाओं का समूह आरा भी जा पहुंचा, जहां सुलभ आंदोलन के प्रणेता डॉक्टर विंदेश्वर पाठक ने इनके दर्द में सहभागी बनने के लिए अपने हाथों से कमाऊ शौचालय की सफाई की और सिर पर मैला उठाकर उसके निष्पादन को अंजाम दिया। ये वाकई एक क्रांतिकारी घटना थी। इन्होंने हिंदुओं की पवित्र नगरी वाराणसी पहुंचकर वहां जीवनदायिनी गंगा में डुबकी लगाई, बाबा विश्वनाथ मंदिर के दर्शन किए और ब्राह्मणों के साथ सामूहिक भोज में भोजन ग्रहण किया। फिर माता विंध्यवासिनी देवी के मंदिर दर्शन करने मिर्जापुर पहुंची। इतना ही नहीं, सर्वधर्म समभाव की भावना को उजागर करने के लिए ये अजमेर शरीफ की दरगाह पर चादर चढ़ाने पहुंची। इन महिलाओं को इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ सैनिटेशन में संयुक्त राष्ट्र से बुलावा आ गया। विश्व के 150 देशों के प्रतिनिधियों की मौजूदगी में यूएन के ट्रस्टीशिप काउंसिल में उषा चौमर को सोने का ताज पहनाया गया। न्यूयॉर्क में ये स्टैचू ऑफ लिबर्टी भी गईं, जो इस बात की परिचायक थी कि सदियों से परंपरा और कुरीतियों की बेड़ियों में जकड़ी इन औरतों को सुलभ ने अपने अभिनव प्रयासों से सचमुच एक नया आसमां मयस्सर करा दिया है। न्यूयॉर्क से वापसी के बाद ये महिलाएं डॉक्टर पाठक की अगुवाई में तत्कालीन राष्ट्रपति प्रतिभा देवी सिंह पाटिल, प्रधानमंत्री डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह, यूपीए चेयरपर्सन श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी से मिली। ये राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी की समाधि पर राजघाट भी गईं और वहां अस्पृश्यता जैसी सामाजिक कुरीतियों को जड़ से मिटाने का संकल्प लिया। कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय महासचिव और सांसद श्री राहुल गांधी ने नई दिल्ली स्थित अपने सरकारी आवास पर इनसे मुलाकात की और इनकी बातों को ध्यानपूर्वक सुना। महात्मा गांधी जी के पौत्र, अध्येता और लेखक श्री राजमोहन गांधी जब सुलभ परिसर नई दिल्ली में पधारे तो इन महिलाओं के साथ सामूहिक भोजन किया।
The Sulabh Shauchalaya movement started all the way back in 1974.
Dr. Vindeshwar Pathak came up with his concept of Sulabh Shauchalaya.
Sari designed by a former sanitation worker.
जब मटक कर चलेंगी तो उसका एक वीडियो जरूर बनाइएगा।
और महिलाओं की जिंदगी बदल दी।
निचले तबके से ताल्लुक रखने वाली इन मॉडल्स ने न्यूयॉर्क में धूम मचा दी।
The Sulabh movement was set up to help rehabilitate scavengers into a new way of life.
And with the support from President.
निचले तबके की कामयाबी बदलाव के संकेत दे रही है।
आपका सपना पूरा हुआ।
कोशिश है सुलभ इंटरनेशनल की।
बदल गई उनकी दुनिया।
The UN invited Usha and others like her to bring awareness to the world's sanitation problem.
एक स्वयंसेवी संस्थान के प्रयास रंग ला रहे हैं।
Dr. Pathak took another significant step when erstwhile women scavengers of Rajasthan were called to participate in offering prayers to Lord Shiva in the Sulabh campus on the occasion of Mahashivratri. The 100 former untouchable women prepared thousands of earthen shivlings. 400 people of other castes also made earthen shivlings. One large Lord Shiva was made in clay for the prayer. Untouchable scavengers got the opportunity to perform havan, an act of worship, by putting pieces of sandalwood in the fire along with Brahmins, the people of the highest caste. The former untouchables performed the puja or prayer along with 15 Vedic experts. This year too, the Sulabh campus reverberated with the sounds of Har Har Mahadev and Namah Shivaya on the occasion of Mahashivratri, when Dr. Pathak, his wife, Mrs. Amola Pathak, and all members of his family sat before the Havan Kund set up before a huge lingam and chanted mantras in praise of the Lord. The event gave the message that everyone is equal in the eyes of God and has a right to pray to the Lord without any caste prejudice. Then came another milestone, both for India and Sulabh. On the 17th of August 2010, a group of liberated women scavengers, who until recently used to earn their living by carrying night soil as head load, and bore the tag across the portals of India's Parliament House, and were escorted to the VIP section of the public gallery for watching the proceedings of the country's highest legislative body called the Lok Sabha. The tale of the struggle of these women of the Sulabh Nai Disha Centre has reached the the biggest temple of Indian democracy.